Hello, friend. I want to tell you about the Toyota RAV4 car. Toyota is a brand that has been able to boast many times about the market success of its models. The biggest hit is the compact Corolla, but not the only one. The Japanese manufacturer has earned a lot on the production of off-road vehicles, which is confirmed by the extraordinary popularity of the Land Cruiser and Hilux. When the demand for compact, small SUVs was noticed on the European market, guess which manufacturer was one of the first to offer a product of this type? Of course, Toyota, which created the RAV4 model at the perfect time. This light SUV became an immediate hit and remained so for a long time until new competitors appeared. The first generation of the RAV4 is already a very outdated car, but despite the fact that 19 years have passed since the end of production, the most beautiful examples are still in demand. The second generation has one advantage over its predecessor: diesel engines. In addition, the body has become more spacious and the driving pleasure greater. The car is safer, more functional, and more modern. Unfortunately, it has also lost some of its famous reliability. Engines in the Toyota RAV4 II. The Toyota RAV4 has a limited number of engines to 3. The most popular unit in our country is the 2-liter D4D diesel with 116 horsepower. More powerful, but not necessarily livelier, is the 2-liter VVTi petrol with 150 horsepower. The 3-door version mainly used the 1.8 VVTi petrol unit with 125 horsepower. The American versions had a 2.4 VVTi petrol engine with 161 to 163 horsepower under the hood. Since petrol versions in this car are less popular, let's focus on the diesel version. The engines were paired with a 5-speed manual gearbox or a 4-speed automatic. The latter was only available with petrol engines, while the diesel could only be purchased with a manual gearbox. What's wrong with the Toyota RAV4? The Toyota RAV4 took the most important feature from the best model in the family, the Corolla. Namely, it was an extremely durable and reliable car. For years, until today, it has been at the top of all reliability rankings, and its reliability is confirmed not only by users, but also by the prices of cars on the secondary market. The more modern RAV4 II was already more problematic than its predecessor, which did not have a diesel engine in the range. What's more, the improved petrol engines still struggle with minor software faults in the control computer. This is manifested by the engine or VSC light on the dashboard, fluctuating RPMs, and the repair usually involves reprogramming the computer. Similar symptoms appear when driving on LPG. This is the only disadvantage of the petrol engine, which is usually suitable for short distances because it is quite uneconomical, on average about 9 to 10 L, 100 kilometers. That is why most people look for a version with a diesel engine. As with any modern diesel powered by common rail injection, you have to reckon with the fact that sooner or later the injectors, turbocharger, and dual-mass flywheel will wear out. Fortunately, there is no particulate filter, which was only installed in the successor. Until recently, Denso electromagnetic injectors were a nightmare, especially the D4D engine variants from 2003 to 2004. First, they weren't very durable, and second, there was a lack of parts for professional reconditioning. You could only buy new ones, and only at authorized service stations, so few people decided to do it. However, the reconditioning ones were actually washed, still worn-out injectors. That is why it is worth being cautious about a car that has had such a regeneration and the engine does not work exactly as you would expect. Now, you can regenerate Denso injectors. Another critical point is the turbocharger, equipped with variable geometry blades. As practice shows, the regeneration of such turbines does not always give satisfactory results, which is why cars are often sold after such a repair. The third fixed point of the diesel engine is, of course, the dual-mass flywheel, but fortunately, it is not an expensive element. This is also the cost of complete sets with a clutch. Unfortunately, it wears out quite quickly in the RAV4, especially if the car is used off-road or used to tow trailers. Interestingly, there is no shortage of sets with a single-mass rigid flywheel on the market. Fortunately, The rest of the car's components are already more than durable. Neither the independent suspension nor the steering system cause any major problems. If anything wears out in the suspension, it's usually minor stuff. If you use it sensibly off-road, the car is failure-free. In the front wishbones, the main wear points are the pins, which are replaceable. The rear cross members are also not expensive. When driving dynamically, you have to be prepared for the front brakes to wear out quite quickly. The RAV4 body is well protected against corrosion, and if it has not been repaired, it may be free of it. Nevertheless, you should look at the car carefully before buying, because these are often 15-year-old cars. Unfortunately, the paint on these cars can flake off unsightly. The interior wears out like other cars, although in pre-facelift models, you can complain about creaking upholstery elements, which, by the way, do not look the best. Is it worth buying a used Toyota RAV4? The second-generation Toyota RAV4 is a car worth recommending to anyone looking for a family car, especially with four-wheel drive. It is very mobile not only in the snow, but also on unpaved roads. The interior will accommodate 4 short people and a lot of luggage. If you want such a car, the RAV4 is a good choice. If you are afraid of a costly diesel failure, the petrol engine remains a choice. Thanks for listening to me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and rate my video. If you know of any problems with this car that I haven't mentioned, be sure to write about them in the comments.